Welcome to Archi Show, a section where we talk about how to land a successful career in architecture. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how I landed my first internship. Instead of me telling you what to do, I'll just tell you exactly what I did. Not that it's the best way to do it, but I think there's a lot you can learn from it. In retrospect, there are some things I wouldn't do, and so I'll point those out as we go along. After this video, I'll be talking about how I landed my internships at companies like BIG and OMA. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification if you're interested. So yeah, welcome to Archi Show. So it was a fall term when I first started building my portfolio, and I wasn't quite too sure at that time what the portfolio is supposed to look like. So the first thing I did was to kind of like chase down some upper years. I asked them for advices and asked them for feedback on what I created. They really helped me out eventually, so I definitely recommend you do that as well. So this is when I started picking up a lot of competitions outside of school. So the competitions that I entered are called Pin Architecture Competitions, 120 Hours, and Super Skyscrapers. For the first few competitions, I didn't win any of them, or I didn't win any cash prizes, but luckily enough, for some of them I got honorable mentions or special mention, and I felt like that was enough boost to like keep me going for the next one after another one. And eventually I do win the first place in one of the competitions, and I end up putting that project in my portfolio, and that became a big discussion piece during interviews. So I definitely recommend you find extra projects and try to include them in your portfolio. Yeah, once I had my portfolio kind of ready to go, I started looking into the job portal that my school has. So if your school offers like a job portal or like career fair kind of deal, make sure to check those out and build some connections. And definitely the first job is the hardest because you don't have a lot of projects and you have very little software experiences. So you might be wondering like, what am I supposed to put in there? And this is what I did. So I put in all the softwares that I was learning at that time. And remember, you don't have to be a master at software before you put it into your resume. If you're able to answer some questions they're asking you, then I think that's a fair game to put that in there. And the fact that you're also learning that program is also a valid answer. So don't be afraid to put in the programs that you're learning. And if they ask you about the programs, just let them know that you're learning these things. Follow up with your own personal traits that will help you along with that software. So for example, if you don't know how to use the software A, you can tell them that you're learning about it and you're only at the beginning stage, but also let them know that you're a fast learner and you're confident that you will be up to speed in no time. Okay, so let's take a deeper dive into what I actually did. So I dug up some of my old resume and cover letter, so let's check it out. So here's my resume. From very early on, I wanted to emphasize like software skills as well as a lot of extracurricular achievements. And a lot of these weren't actually relevant to architecture, but I kind of like added some, I don't actually recommend you like trying to bluff too much, because in the end, when they're looking for entry-level position, they know what they're looking for, and it's okay if you're not the perfect candidate. They know that they'll understand that you're still learning and give you enough support to get you going. And then here's my cover letter. So the trick I used at that time was basically to create a generic cover letter and send it out to everyone. And you know, a lot of people often like just change up the title and the company name, but you could even omit that step if you just make the cover letter super generic like this. But if there are companies that you really want to get into, make sure to tailor your resume and cover letter just for that company. So throughout the process, I think I applied to about 50 companies and got about 10 interviews, and in the end I got 2 offers. One of them was in Toronto and the other one was in Miami, and I ended up going to Miami because I just wanted to get out of the cold weather. And don't be discouraged even if your first internship isn't what you exactly expected, because after the first one, finding a job gets a lot more easier. You get a lot more interviews and a lot more offers. And arguably the first one is the hardest one to get into. And as for myself, arguably the first internship wasn't the most interesting one, but it in the end opened doors for companies like OMA, which I'll be talking about in the next video. Oh yeah, and remember in the beginning of the video I talked about some of the competitions that I did? I think that small validation was really all I needed to keep going and push myself on different projects. So I wanted more people to feel like this, and that's why we're creating this new competition series on the website. It's gonna be free to enter, and there will be some small prizes, so make sure to check it out. For more information, check out the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.